Since childhood, I've been drawn to the mysterious world of snakes, making frequent visits to the Katraj Zoo to observe these fascinating creatures. Each visit deepened my curiosity, but it wasn't until recently that I experienced something extraordinary, a conversation with a spectacled cobra. This is his story.
Greetings. I am the spectacled Cobra, once revered by gods like Shiva and Vishnu. You must be wondering how I found myself in this small pit. How did I get here, far from the sacred temples and forests of India? Let me share the story of my life and the lives of my fellow serpents, weaving through the threads of culture, religion, and nature. I was born in a distant forest, far from the bustling city, where I spent most days of my childhood. I thrived in the wild, slithering through the underbush and basking in the sun until one day everything changed. I began to notice more and more human activity in the forest. A few days later, I found out that a large part of my home had been turned into a road with a strange, noisy machines moving along it. Everyone was frightened by this sudden change and uncertain as to what to do next. I still remember the day when one of my own kind was killed by these machines as they passed by, and they did not look behind. This started happening regularly, and we began to consider that path a forbidden zone. Yet, some of us still had to brave it in search of food and water. As the years passed, new structures emerged within the forest. I remember the day when I found myself inside a moving object that carried me away to a human settlement. It took me some time to get used to this area that I was living in now. At first I was terrified, but then I realized that food and water were abundant here. But the frightening part was that humans were scared of me, and many times they tried to take my life. I came to understand that this area, now so altered, was once a thriving habitat for many animals. They had intricately adapted to this environment, making it their home. Their special adaptations, like the ability to blend into their surroundings, were crucial in making this possible. But one day I was near a structure and saw a snake made of rock. This intrigued me and I wanted to learn more, so I decided to stay there for a longer period. One day, a lot of people started coming there early in the morning, offering milk, water, and flowers to the snake made of rock. This made me wonder even more about the significance of that stone serpent. As the days passed, I learned more and discovered that I am actually worshipped in this land. This confused me because I had seen so many of us die at the hands of humans. After spending some time here, I grew accustomed to the city life. But amidst the chaos of this unfamiliar world, I felt increasingly alone. I longed for tranquility of my forest home where I truly belonged. One evening, as I was chasing my food, I entered a human's house and everyone was frightened there. And seeing this, I panicked and hid behind an object and waited there for some time. But then a human came and started removing those objects as if he wanted to catch me. I got more worried and I opened my hood in order to scare him off. He began lifting me with a stick, and as my agitation grew, I soon realized he was only trying to remove me from the house. Our struggle continued, each of us determined, but in the end, he managed to catch me. He put me in a dark bag, and that's when people over there were relieved. I spent the night in that bag, wondering what was going to happen to me. The next day, he took me out and gave water to me because he had realized that I was thirsty. Little did I know this would mark the beginning of my prison sentence, as I was soon to be caged by these humans. The guy who rescued me took me to a place where I was placed in this small enclosure with other cobras. And since then, I've been living here. I now receive free food and water, but my freedom has been taken away. Everyone here has a similar story as mine and long for freedom. Some get it after a day, whereas someone like me stays here for a long period. Attempts to escape don't work, as I've tried many a times. But let me share a positive side of this. Many humans come to visit me, and I bring them joy, which is all I've ever wanted in my life. In the ancient tales, we snakes were revered and feared. Today, we are still caught between admiration and misunderstanding. But there are those who bridge this gap, those who risk their lives to protect us and foster understanding. Let me introduce you to one such guardian, a snake rescuer who has dedicated his life to our safety and harmony with humans.
मी वन्यजीव रक्षक विनायक मोहिते गेल्या 10 वर्षापासून वन्यजीव वाचवण्याचं काम करतो. त्याच्यामध्ये सापच नाही तर कोणताही वन्य प्राणी, फार किड्यामुंगीपासून ते बिबट्यापर्यंत आम्ही रेस्क्यूचं काम करतो. कारण ग्रामीण भागामध्ये साप तसेच इतर प्राण्यांचा वावर जास्त असल्या कारणामुळे ग्रामीण लोकांना त्याचा जास्त त्रास होतो. आणि असे जर साप कुणाच्या घरात किंवा त्यांच्या घराच्या आवारात आले तर आम्ही त्या ठिकाणी जाऊन त्याला रेस्क्यू करून त्याची पूर्ण माहिती देऊन त्यांना परत नैसर्गिक आवासात मुक्त करतो. तर पहिल्यापासून ग्रामीण भागात साप म्हटलं की त्याला मारणं हेच त्यांचं मुख्य ध्येय असतं. कारण साप म्हणजे विषारी, साप बिनविषारी जरी असला तरी त्याला लोक मारण्याचा प्रयत्न करतात. त्याच्यामुळं आणि पहिल्यापासून बघत आलोय की साप दिसला तर त्याला गावातली सगळी लोक जमा होणार आणि त्याला मारणार. तर साप पण हा निसर्गसृष्टीमधला एक जीव आहे, तो वाचला पाहिजे हेच एक ध्येय आहे. तर याच्यामध्ये कोणताही पैसे वगैरे मिळत नाही. एक वन्यजीव वाचवण्याचं समाधान आम्हाला भेटतं आणि लोकांना त्याची मदत होती. कारण बऱ्याचदा घरामध्ये ज्यावेळेस साप निघतो त्यावेळेस घरामध्ये अतिशय भयानक वातावरण तयार होतं आणि अशा वेळेस त्यांचा आम्हाला रेस्क्यू कॉल येतो. पण तो कधी पण येऊ शकतो, नाईटला 12-1 नंतर देखील येऊ शकतो. मग असा नाईटला जर साप घरामध्ये आला तर लोकही जास्त घाबरलेले असतात. मग त्या ठिकाणी जाऊन आम्ही तो रेस्क्यू करून त्याची चांगली पूर्णतः माहिती देऊन त्याला परत नैसर्गिक अधिवासात मुक्त करतो. मी पहिल्यापासून महादेवाचा भक्त आहे आणि त्याच्यामुळं एक साप म्हणलं की प्रत्येकाच्या मनात महादेव येतात. तर तसंच मी महादेवाचा भक्त असल्यामुळे ह्याच्यात मला प्रेरणा मिळते. माझं काम लोकांचा दृष्टिकोन बदलते, कारण सापापासून आपल्याला जे फायदे होणार आहेत हे पूर्णतः फायदे मी लोकांपर्यंत पोहोचवण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. कारण सापाचं जे विष आहे त्याच्यापासून होणारे अँटीवेनम तयार होतात, तसेच बहुतांश औषधं ही सापाच्या विषापासून तयार होतात. मग त्याची ज्यावेळेस माहिती मी सांगतो लोकांना, तसेच साप हा आपल्या शेतामध्ये उंदरं जे नासाडे वगैरे करतात त्याच्यावरती बॅलन्स ठेवतात, तसेच बेडूक इतर जे कीटक आहेत त्याच्यावरती नियंत्रण ठेवतात. मग त्याची त्यांना पूर्ण मी माहिती सांगून लोकांना त्याच्याविषयी चांगली माहिती मिळते. आत्ता सध्या आमच्या भागामध्ये लोक कोणताही साप वगैरे मारत नाही आणि जरी दिसला तरी त्याची पूर्ण माहिती असल्यामुळे, कारण मी गावामध्ये भरपूर ठिकाणी स्नेक अवेअरनेस घेतला व सापांचे महत्त्व लोकांना पटवून दिले आहे. त्याच्यामुळं कोणतेही माणसं साप मारत नाही, जरी दिसला तरी त्याच्यावर लक्ष ठेवतात आणि आम्हाला रेस्क्यूसाठी कॉल करतात.
So, this is my story. I hope that my time here and my story changes humans' perspective towards snakes. We simply want to be loved, and if you show us kindness, we have no reason to harm you. Ensuring that both of us thrive together, sharing the benefits of a balanced and harmonious world, I ask you, can we please coexist?